I'll jump in and give you guys a demo, and then we'll talk a little bit more, and we'll take some questions after that. So if you go to our Gemba Walk application, this is the AI-enabled version of it, and you'll see that there are some menu structures up here. You can add Gemba Walks, you can generate summaries, generate executive summaries for the higher level. And then there's a nice video here that Soren put together, another little quick training around Gemba Walks. But often we'll attach lots of documents for customers, et cetera. So whatever training you want to do around the Gemba Walk. In the process, you can see the Gemba Walks that are in here. They'll show up in a nice list view with summaries of them. You'll also have the ability to view them in Kanban view, which shows, you know, the different stages and the different Gemba Walks. There's a few examples in here. Also, when you generate the work, you'll get a timeline view, and I'll show you how this works, where you'll be able to see the timeline of all the Gemba Walks, and you can drill down and see who's doing what, et cetera. And then you can archive, and I'll show you the executive summary here in a minute. So in the Gemba Walk, the idea is to generate a Gemba Walk in the AI, and this is a standard sort of Gemba Walk template. They come in different flavors. Gemba Walks, as often as I said, will also address the SQDC processes. You can select who the auditor is. You can say which area you're doing it on. This is often a best practice, is which type of waste are you trying to focus on in this Gemba Walk? Because there's always so many things to look at. It's nice to focus sometimes on a particular type of waste. You can add the date. That can all be automatically entered. And then what you do here is you list the station. There might be multiple steps at a particular station. You might talk about the type of opportunity, because even though your focus is motion, you might find that you're working on something else. And then you can prioritize. You can discuss with your employee, get their response, positive, negative, et cetera, on the issue and how you're trying to address it. And then add your comments here. So this is the basic process of a standard Gemba Walk. Now, what you can do with AI, last thing, and if you're doing this with an iPad, you can upload images, et cetera, of the things you're seeing, and that all gets contained in that Gemba Walk record. Now, one of the cool things is now AI can come in. So you're talking with your employees, you're creating information. Now, what the AI can do is it can read all of this, and it can generate a summary. And that summary gets generated directly through the AI. You just click this button. I'll do it now. It'll take 15 or 20 seconds, so I won't do it after that. But basically what it does is it goes out to the large language model. It captures all of your notes here, and then will generate a summary that captures as best it can all of the issues that you talked about. And then you see, highlighted several areas of improvement in production processes. On the negative side, we need to address shortage of workers on the shop floor, improve tool organization. So it does a really nice job of generating a nice summary for you. It'll also then, if you want, generate a list of suggested actions. I won't click it, but what it does is it goes through and creates a list of suggested actions to address what was raised in the summary. You can also edit this, add additional items, but conduct time motion studies to identify where excessive blending and reaching. So what you've done here using AI is augment the capability of your team. So you've identified some issues up here by talking with your team. The AI summarizes it and then generates a list based on best practices of things you might try. Now, it's not always perfect, but there's AI is getting better and better, but it does a nice job of generating these lists. You can edit these to the ones that you actually care about. And then you can click this button here, and it will generate a list of actions for you that you can then go in and assign to your team members. You can go add the start and end dates on these things so you can address them. And these will then roll up into your plan of timelines and all the actions that need to be addressed. So I added one in there, and you'll see here it's added. So that's how you can take AI and bring it directly into the view of each of these Gembas, generating an actual summary, a suggested group of actions, and then to actually generate an action plan that you can assign to your team. Now, in our system, when you assign these, our team gets notified. Anybody on the team gets notified. They see their actions in a list of everything they're assigned to, and every Monday they get an email saying, here's everything that's late, here's everything that's due, and here's everything that's coming up soon. So you have this ability to build a real action plan and execution model around your Gemba Walk. The last thing you can do is you can have AI generate, based on all of the Gemba Walks you're doing, common positive themes and negative themes that are going on in your Gemba Walk. So this is a very simple overview that gets generated by looking at all of the Gemba Walk summaries and summarizing them into the specific sort of challenges that you're addressing on the shop floor. So this gives management a nice overview of everything that they're seeing, and lets AI generate it. So what you've done by bringing AI into the process is you've created and going from analog to digital, you've now created the digital record. You've got a history and an action timeline. You've got summaries and actions being created, and you've got an executive summary of the entire process. So that's simply how we address Gemba Walks with AI. You also can bring those, your SQDC huddle boards, or we have lots of different processes that AI can be brought into. The way we're addressing it, and I'll just take one more second on AI, is we're using AI as an acceleration and augmentation to your workforce. I've never been in a plant where they say, oh, we just have way too many workers. There's always a lack of resources. And so if we can use the capabilities of AI to augment those resources and really drive productivity at the point of work, whether that's addressing maintenance issues before you have to call a maintenance engineer, whether that's using Gemba Walks or 5S audits or any of the other processes or Kaizen to really maximize the efficiency of any of these processes, it's all a win for the manufacturing shop floor. One is the infrastructure that we provide behind the scenes is constantly evolving so that the answers are better. We're not using that data to evolve the model yet. What we're doing is we're improving the way that the prompts and the structures and the grounding all work so that the best answer possible comes out of this. So you'll notice these are good answers. If you try to do this with just a ChatGPT initial prompt or something like that, you'll end up with half garbage. So we've optimized these processes so they'll generate really nice and usable information. So that part is about the structure by which we engage with the AI. The next step is kind of that second step that we talked about. And I think this is incredibly valuable. If we could get 15 or 20% productivity out of the entire team working on this, it'd be huge. But the next step is actually using the internal data, the data that we gather, et cetera, to improve the models, as you talked about, and data. For instance, you might have all kinds of maintenance data. So we index all of that data. We use that with the AI model, et cetera. And where it's stored, everything in our system is stored in the Google Cloud. It's encrypted. It uses best practices. It's not like the Google Suite. It's very similar to AWS and Azure from a security standpoint. So it's all encrypted, multi-tenant, best practices. It's a very modern application. We don't store any of it on our own servers, so there's no footprint for hacking at Praxi. It's all organized and managed by Google.
Great. Well,